Tributes have been pouring in for the Japanese fashion designer Issey Miyake, who died of cancer at the age of 84. His high-tech, comfortable clothing was hailed by his peers and made him famous all over the world, as Wendy Urquhart reports.
Issey Miyake originally set his sights on becoming a dancer or an athlete, but one day he picked up one of his sister's magazines and became instantly hooked on fashion. He studied graphic design in Tokyo, worked alongside Guy Laroche and Givenchy in Paris, and honed his craft in New York before returning to Tokyo in 1970, where he founded the Miyake Design Studio. A decade later, he developed a new way of pleating fabric by wrapping it between layers of paper and putting the garments into a heat press so that they held the pleats. He tested the freedom of movement of the clothes on dancers, and his innovative designs caused an absolute sensation on the catwalk, not least because they didn't crease, which fitted perfectly with his aim to make fashion comfortable and accessible to everyone.
He used to talk about how, for him, the most modern thing you could do, the most futuristic thing you could do was to dress everyone in really beautiful clothes. That they shouldn't just be for the elite and the wealthy, that couture, is for the happy few. He thought that, you could take this idea and meld it with technology, sort of this confluence of technology and design, and use it to dress everyone.
His business empire eventually included watches, perfume and clothes for men and women. His Baobao bags, which are covered in triangle shapes, became a global hit, and the black turtleneck jumpers that Steve Jobs was obsessed with were also designed by Issey Miyake. He didn't often talk about his childhood. He was a 7-year-old schoolboy when America dropped an atomic bomb on his hometown of Hiroshima. Within 3 years, his mother died from radiation exposure. He was determined not to be labelled as an atomic bomb survivor, but in 2009 he wrote an essay for the New York Times in a bid to persuade the then US President Barack Obama to visit Hiroshima. In it he said, "When I close my eyes, I still see things no one should ever experience." Issey Miyake said he spent his whole life creating things that were beautiful in a bid to forget the horror of that day. Wendy Urquhart, BBC News.